So are you thinking about buying a new construction home? Well, don't do it yet until you hear these 7 things you need to be considering when you go buy a new construction home. We're going to talk about them next. And if you stay till the end, I'm going to talk about one thing that you really definitely need to know about before you go in and consider a community, because it's going to cost you a whole lot more money if you don't. So don't go anywhere. We're getting started right now. So if you're new to the channel, go ahead, subscribe, and click the bell for notifications so you can be made aware the next time we put a new video up on the channel. Hi, I am Elizabeth Oliva. This is the Fort Worth Home Tours, and we get calls and texts from people just like you every single day looking to make a move to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So whether you're moving in 8 days, 8 weeks, 8 months, or 8 years, go ahead and give me a call, send me a text, shoot me an email, or book a Zoom. And call and text is best because I do answer that all the time. I do answer emails and I do book Zooms as well. So all of it works. Details are below of how to contact me that way. And we can connect and I can see how I can help you make a smooth move to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So as I was saying, if you were looking at buying a new construction home, there are 7 things that you need to consider. These have come up lately with some of my clients, and I just wanted to go over them. Maybe a couple I've gone over before, but I wanted to go over these with you because they may be things that you have not thought about when you go look at a new construction home, or that you're going to build a new construction home. It's more about the building of one. So let's dig into it. So number 1, think about, is this your first home or your forever home? Are you thinking, this is the last home I'm going to build, I'm going to be in this thing forever, and I'm going to put everything that I can dream of into this home, upgrades, and just trick it out? Well, that may be true. It may be your forever home, but life may change. And that happens all the time to people. They think they're going to be in there for 20 years, and all of a sudden in 5 years, something changes in their life and they do need to sell it. So first home or forever home, resale, thinking of resale is not a bad idea when you go to make your choices with the design center and thinking about those upgrades. You may want to choose things that are that you like, but that are things that other people may like as well. I guess that's a good way to put that. So you may want to choose, like right now, very popular is the laminate or engineered wood flooring versus the standard tile. 12 by 12, 13 by 13 ceramic tile is, that is the builder, the no cost option. Let's put it that way. So in the common areas, like when your entryway, your kitchen, your bathrooms, your laundry room, and a lot of times your living space, actually the living space may be carpet. So entryway, hallways, bathrooms, laundry room, kitchen, and dining nook are going to be tile, unless you upgrade to like a luxury vinyl plank, laminate of some kind, engineered wood, hand scraped wood, things like that. I would definitely look at that as an upgrade that people would want on resale for sure. Look at your choices of colors, with your paint, choices of finish outs, things like that. So think about those things. If you do trick it out, if you do just stack on the upgrades, something else to consider, if you're getting a loan on this home, it may not appraise, okay? And if it doesn't appraise, what that means is, you have, maybe your base price was $550, you put $100,000 in upgrades, it's $650, and the appraisal comes back at $600, you're on the hook for $50,000. You got to come up with that. Whatever the difference is between whatever the appraiser says is worth and what your purchase price is with all your upgrades and everything you've put into it. So you may want to think about that. And a lot of communities have kind of a standard amount of upgrades, average amount of upgrades that people put into a home. And if you go with the average amount, then you're more likely to appraise. Okay, you're more likely to be close to an appraisal value that's close to what you are purchasing for, which is safe. Okay, then you won't have to put any more cash into it. So that's just something to think about. If that doesn't matter to you and you're like, you know what, we've got some extra cash and we want to do all the upgrades we want to do, knock yourself out. Absolutely, it's your home, it's your investment. Just think about these things. So I always tell people, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm not here to, people ask me, what do you think? It's not really about what I think because you're the one living in the home. It's about, I want to help you think of things that may matter. They may matter to you, they may not. But I always want to bring them up just in case. So number 2, after purchase upgrades versus at the time of build upgrades. So what's the difference? Think about what would be very hard or almost impossible to do as an upgrade or improvement after you complete the build versus when you're building. Okay, for instance, if you want a fireplace, you need to do that when you're doing the build. If you want a covered patio, you want to do that at the time you're doing the build. If you want to add the media room, you definitely want to do that. That's a structural upgrade. You want to do any structural upgrades at the time of build and not after. Those are a lot more expensive to try to tear out walls or add spaces or things like that. That's a lot more expensive after the fact. Things that are not, that you may want to wait on, are like maybe adding a special tile to the laundry room, or changing, just trying to think, you have a small room and it has carpet, the builder rig carpet, you may want to put tile in, or you may want to put laminate later, okay, maybe. But structural stuff you definitely want to do at the time of build. Think about those things. Am I going to want that full bath instead of the half bath? Will I want that media room instead of leaving it attic space if they allow that kind of upgrade? Like if they have the ability, if you can extend the garage like 5 feet out to the side to add a little extra room, definitely want to do that at the time of build. That's something that would be almost impossible well, not impossible, but it'd be really expensive to do. Okay, definitely want to think about that. So that's number 2. Number 3, exterior choices and brick choices. Okay, exterior meaning the elevation. So elevation is what the house looks like from the front. So the pitch of the roof, does it have a porch? Does it have just an entryway, or does it have a porch? Is the pitch high? Is it low? Is it transitional style, or is it more of the higher roof? Does it have like a dormer or a window up in the roof area or not? Does it have brick and stone or just brick? They may have 1 or 2 elevations that are no cost, okay? And then the rest of them are usually going to be at a cost because of the materials involved and the way it's structured, that it costs more to build it. So you want to ask the builder, sales consultant, do you have, if there's one that you like, say, if they're not in it, if their model is not that elevation of the particular floor plan, do you have one in the subdivision that's been built that I can go see it in person? You want to see it in person. Is there a community nearby, if you don't have it, where I can go see this elevation in person so I can really get a really good picture of what this looks like on a home instead of just a picture and a rendering in a notebook or a floor plan? Definitely want to ask about that. Brick. So do you want a crisp and clean looking brick exterior, or more of a less traditional and sloppy, or I don't know what another word for it is. Sloppy. It's kind of a sloppy look. And let me see if I can describe this. So brick is brick. So it's cut, there's some types of brick that are cut very straight, rectangular. The edges are all squared off, 90 degree and all of that. Very clean, okay? So when it's laid and they put the mortar in, the mortar is very clean and crisp versus a brick that has more of a stone texture to it, like a cut stone, where some of the bricks may actually have, instead of it being straight on the sides, it may have an angle to it. So when they lay that brick, that mortar there's going to be more mortar in that angle part. And so it's going to look uneven. It's going to look, some people may say sloppy, but some people like that look. They want something that's a little more unusual. So you just need to know what it's going to look like on a home. You need to get a good picture of the brick that you chose and what it looks like. You can usually tell if it's one of those kind of uneven, unusual bricks by the sample. You can kind of tell, but just pay close attention to that and then ask the designer or the sales consultant, how is this going to look on a house? Is it going to look clean and crisp, or a little bit less clean and crisp? I guess that's the best way I can describe that. I want to make sure you ask that question. Okay, and then picking the lot, very important. There's so many things to consider when you're picking a lot, okay? Is it backing up to a green space? Is it on a cul-de-sac? Is it an interior lot? Are there going to be one-story or two-story homes next to you on those interior lots? Is your lot below the lot behind it? So like, is there going to be a retaining wall and a fence? And will you be down below someone? Some people love that. They want the privacy of a really private backyard like that. I personally don't like that, but that's just me. Some people love the privacy of that. They love feeling like that, like they're in a valley. But that's not me. If you do, that's the kind of lot for you. If you are backing up to a green belt, that means you're not going to have anyone behind you. Some people love that. Other people are like, oh, might have critters and stuff coming into my yard. Well, you might, but some people like to have that back space behind them. I back up to a green space, love it. Some people want a view. They want to be able to look out over the mountains, or, well, we don't have mountains in Texas pretty much, but look out and see out and have a view over a hillside. Do you want that kind of a view? Do you want to be on a cul-de-sac? A cul-de-sac lot, a lot of times it's going to be like a pie lot. So you're going to have like a smaller front and a wider backyard. Okay, that's a typical cul-de-sac type lot. But even if you're coming off of the cul-de-sac, being close to a cul-de-sac could be advantageous because there's a lot of times less traffic on a cul-de-sac because people, unless you live over there, you may not be going over there. Okay, so the cul-de-sacs have their advantages for sure. Where does the sun fall? Do you want to have your front door facing north or south? In Texas, we usually don't want a straight west backyard. We would prefer something like, where the sun is coming, seeing your southwest or northwest, or, there's an angle to it where it's not direct. But if you're the kind of person who likes to hang out in the backyard and grill and maybe have the TV on and watch the sunset, then you want to consider, is my backyard going to be facing somewhat west so I can catch that sunset? If it doesn't matter to you, or you want shade in the evenings, you want to go the opposite. You want to have an eastern facing backyard, okay? And if you have a view of like a rolling hills or something like that, will you be able to see through the rooftops to the hill, or do you even care? So those are things to consider when you are looking at the lot. So when you go in there and you see the lots they have available, also ask them, okay, my floor plan with the elevation I want, because of the non-monotony policy here in Texas, usually a lot of communities have that, cities have that, where you can't build the same house and same floor plan, same elevation right next to each other. Usually it's 1 in 3, 1 in 5, 1 in 6. So they make sure there's a lot of variety. So you want to make sure that the lot you want, you can put the floor plan that you want on it and the elevation that you want on it, okay? And then maybe have a couple options, and then go to the lot and walk the lot, get out on the lot and see what it feels like. And imagine, go back to the back of it. Imagine, okay, this is going to be my backyard. What does this feel like? This will be the front. Is there a street light right beside me? Do I care about that? Do I want a street light right here? Would I rather it be a few houses down? Those are all questions you want to have going on in your mind to make sure that this is going to be the right lot for you. If you are at a lot that's got a retainer wall, you want to ask the builder, whose responsibility is it to maintain the retainer wall? Is it mine after I close, or is the developer still going to be taking care of that retainer wall? Make sure you know that, because if it is you may not want to take on that responsibility. You may decide, no, I don't want a retainer wall, and it may stay there for 100 years. But what if it doesn't? What if it starts to crumble and you have to repair it? You have to fix it. Something to think about. I don't know if you've ever thought about that, but make sure you know a corner lot has 2 sides of easements. You have an easement on 2 sides like this. So make sure your floor plan can fit on that corner lot. A good sales consultant should know this. They should know and should be able to tell you, you know what, sorry, your floor plan, we can't put it over here. If they don't know that, you need to ask that. You need to make sure and ask, are you sure that my plan will fit on here? Can you show me how it will fit on here? And just make sure of that, because I've had that come up and it wasn't pretty. I'll just put it that way. Added costs. Okay. Lot premiums. If you have a corner lot, if you have a cul-de-sac lot, if you have a lot that backs up to a green belt, a lot that's a little oversized, those all are going to have usually premiums, and they may be more, they may be less. And a lot of times you can get those discounted or negotiated down depending on how motivated the builder is to sell them. They may be wanting to close out a phase and they may be like, sell, baby, sell, let's get this thing done. And they may discount it heavily. So you never know till you ask. And that's what a good realtor is there for, is to let's help ask those questions. So elevations, like I said, can have added costs. So they usually have one or two that are no cost, and then they'll have others that have a cost to it. Structural upgrades are going to have a cost. Design upgrades are going to have a cost. And some builders have a design center in their model home, and they have specially curated selections, and usually very good ones for you, that are right there. And honestly, not a bad idea, because it's a lot less confusing when you have a lot less to deal with. But if you're the type of person that wants all your options, then you may want to choose a builder where you go to the design center, okay? Sometimes those can get pricey. Sometimes they can. Builders right now have a lot of incentives going on right now in 2026. This is happening. So give you an example. Went down to a builder, base price on this particular floor plan was $474. And she sat down and said, what's important to you? Fireplace, the flooring, the chef's kitchen, the blah, 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 all the stuff. And she said, let me see what I can do. So she had, I think, 30 to 50,000 in a buyer flex cash. And then they had a package of upgrades they were doing as a promotion. So she came back, $474 base price. She came back with the upgrades that he wanted, $452. So I'm telling you, the deals are out there definitely right now. They're definitely out there. So don't let a base price scare you. And then you've got all kinds of, you may have incentives with lenders, you have incentives to buy down the rate, you have a lot of options, even with building. Some people think the builders are not willing to negotiate if you're building. Not necessarily true. Not necessarily true. Timing of selling your home with the completion of your build. Okay, very important. I would love to think that you sell your home and it perfectly times with selling your home, closing on the sale of your home, and closing on the buy of your newly completed build. Typically doesn't happen, so you're going to need to find temporary housing. I hate to tell you this, probably going to need to find it. You want to sell your home fast, okay? Because if you are building with a builder, they're going to want to make sure your home does go under contract fast, okay? That you have it listed, then you get a contract within usually 30, 60 days of you contracting on the new build. So you put it, if you say, I've got a house to sell, but I want a contract on the new build, they'll say, okay, that's great. However, you've got to have a contract on the sale of your home within 30 to 60 days of us contracting, or you lose your contingency, which means you have to move forward whether you sell your home or not. Okay. Pressure, stress time. Yeah. Got to get it done. So you want to get your home sold. Absolutely. And temporary housing is a much more comfortable option, in my opinion, than being so stressed out because you're trying to time all this stuff and your house hasn't sold and all that. So get your house sold, move into temporary housing while you've contracted on the house, and then build the house a lot more stress-free. Let's just put it that way. Pack everything up, put it in storage, move into maybe a 3, 6, 9 month lease apartment, and they have those here where you can do that. And then that way you have much less stress. So last but not least, I told you to wait till the end. PIDs and MUDs. Yes, they are acronyms and they do mean something. Public utility districts, municipal utility districts. So PIDs are typically go with the lot. They're usually a cost per lot that the developer assesses. And usually they are paid out with the mortgage, I believe, somehow collected with that. And I do believe a lot of times they go away, okay? MUDs are with the taxes, and they're escrowed with your other taxes and usually paid out by your mortgage company once a year. And these are infrastructure costs, okay? Let's just put it that way. Infrastructure, amenities, like a lot of times the master plan communities will do a PID to pay for their amenities, the pool, the playgrounds, the pickleball courts, all the stuff that we love. They may have a PID to pay for that, and it goes away after time. MUDs are different. That's like all the infrastructure of the utilities, maybe the water, the sewer, all that stuff that's coming into the big master plan communities, it's a MUD. So you want to ask the question to the community, do you have a PID or do you have a MUD? And how much is it? So you are not shocked, if you come to closing and you're like, well, you'll know before closing, but you want to know before contracting what those costs are, because you may want to choose another community if you don't want to pay a PID or a MUD. There are some that are fairly still new that don't have a PID or a MUD. So good information to know. So I hope all of this brought you some value. And if there's anything that you can think about that you've gone through with the new build process that maybe you'd like to share, go ahead and leave me a comment. I would love to know if there's something that I left out that is like a big gotcha that you found out when you were building. They were like, oh my goodness, I wish I'd known about this. Definitely let me know about that. So if you like the video, go ahead and like the video. That really helps me out, and share it with your friends. Definitely if it had brought you some value. And if I can help you, go ahead and connect with me. Details are below of how to do that. And this is Elizabeth Oliva. This is the Fort Worth Home Tours. And until next time, and when you come into town, I hope to show you around.